And it begins. Uh-oh, it's about to go down.
Mr. Diddy.
Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenymejourney.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Allahu Akbar.
This is Kadara Franks, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
Man, oh man,
This is Sheik,
it's
aka
going
Ace,
down.
live from Shisha Lounge. And you are now listening to
Look, I'm not at
Journey
the
Radio.
smoke shop this week. I'm at home. My kids is being quiet for me. They're gonna let us do the show. As a matter of fact, Miss Gina said she wanted to come and help with the show. Miss Sasha said she wanted to come help with the show. And I thought about it. Said, why the hell not? Y'all come on in here, ladies. You don't want to get on the radio? Come on in here. Come on, we about to go to, as long as you quiet when I need you to be quiet. We gonna do this. I want y'all to learn how to do it. Learn how to work the boards. Y'all have to share the chair.
Live from Shisha Lounge.
Oh man.
Gye-Nyame Journey
Come on.
Radio.
Go sit down. I want you to be able to see it. You ain't gonna be able to hear it yet because I ain't got my headphones for you. Alright, come on. They got their own little headphones, right? They ain't working all the way. But hey, they get up here, they can sure I want you to put that in your mouth. I don't want you blowing there. You want to do that, you go in there. Alright, we about to kick it, man. Listen. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I am your host, Brother Hatim. This is Freestyle Fridays, and we are striving to blow up your old paradigms. But before we do that, you got to remember, this is a Heart of a Simple production. We strive to blow up those old paradigms. That's right. All right. Now, first things first, right? It's been a tumultuous week for me. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing research. Kids been out. I've been trying to get my mind together because we're going to have to go back to school, back to the grind next week. But fam, we need to talk. I mean, some major things that's brewing and have been brewing in our community for a long time. We got the Great Pumpkin running for the White House. We got the Lion Clinton running for the White House. We got Mr. Sanders running for the White House. You know what I'm saying? We got a black president who who it can be said is questionable about anything that he did for the black community, because of course we can't expect the black president to do anything for the black community. You can't expect a black leader to do anything for, because he's not a representative of black people. He's a representative of everybody. But this is the question I have. Why is everybody else, right, more rewarded, more lauded than our group when we get into power? Everybody receives something from us but us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to wonder, in what rule book is that fair? In what game book is that fair? And where is that right? But hey, we're going to talk about a little bit of that tonight. We're going to talk about some climate change. We're going to run through the news timeline. I could take about an hour and a half. Well, how much time I need? You know, I might not even need that much time to get across some of the stuff that we need to discuss. But I got a major story that I need to share with y'all. It's an old story from the Huffington Post. That's from 2014. Right? And this is the issue, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my freestyle music, and we're going to run down the timeline real quick. We're going to run down the timeline. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to do that. I'm putting on my timer so I can be on it, you know, because it's just me. I ain't got no crew yet. My baby's going to learn how to do this one day, but right now they still babies.
I know how to spell skip.
Okay. We done with the skip. We need to move on to new words, bro, okay? Well, go on, spell skip.
G-I-A.
Oh my God. All right. We working on it. We working with her, y'all. We working with her. She ain't even in school yet. But she trying. Ain't that right?
I know how to spell.
I know you know how to spell. You're not going to spell skip anymore on my show. We moving to other words for you. All right?
Sip.
Sip. Okay, go ahead. Spell sip.
S-I-P.
Word. Good job. Good job.
Daddy, I can't
Good
hear.
job. Huh?
I can't hear the radio.
You don't need to hear. Good job. Good job. All right. Solo music on. Solo music a little bit. We're going to see what the timeline has in store for us. All right. Once again, I need to remind you that this is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. And right now you're listening to Freestyle Fridays on AEOOOOhhh, an empire of our own. It's the Heart of a Simple production. We strive to blow up those old paradigms. But we will flush out intergalactic fuckery, as well as the Asian, especially the West Asian variety. And we applaud all those that are striving to do better in the world. That's right. All right. So, let's go on to the timeline, fam. We're going on the timeline. First things first. All right. So I ran into a preview for a PBS special called Slavery by Any Other Name, where they explore slavery, where they explore what happened after the Civil War, from the Civil War in America up to World War II, and it's called Slavery by Another Name. And it basically connects the dots for how, I'm going to read in this article, and I'm going to go through it because in the article they talk about it. For those that want to know what article I'm going to be covering in depth, it's the era within which American legacy rises. It's from the Huffington Post. It's a blog, and the blog is by, let me find the brother's name because he did an excellent job, and he's definitely going to get a round of applause. Antonio Moore. You can follow him, Tone Talks, TONETALKS at Tone Talks on Twitter. Excellent article. I'm gonna follow this dude on Twitter because I was so impressed. My daughter just got me a bottle of water, so she's starting to understand how the thing work, right? She want me not to be sounding all raspy and stuff like that, so she went and got me some water. She don't want me sounding like Miles Davis. All right, so let's keep it moving. So those that want to check it out, that is a promo, but Slavery by Another Name is on YouTube, and I will be watching the whole thing soon. I would advise everybody out there to watch it because it's very informative. Let's keep it moving. Just in the short piece that I saw. So the era within which American legacy rises. Huffington Post. We're going to talk about that one in depth, so I'm going to skip right by it. But those that don't understand how this works, all you got to do is go to the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline. Go to the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline on Facebook, and we follow straight down that timeline. You can do it on Google Plus or even our Gye-Nyame Radio on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, we keep moving through the timeline. I'm adding stuff to the timeline. Sometimes other people add stuff to the timeline. I want y'all to know that all of you that are following us on a journey, all of you that are walking with us on a journey, you are able to post articles that you want me to cover on my morning show or on my longest show on Fridays. You're able to post it up here so that we can go through it, all right? So we're going to go more in depth at the era within which American legacy rises. Now, I have to be honest. I didn't find this on my own. I was listening to Breaking Brown, Yvette Cornell, and she was talking about this article. And I went and read it. I said, man, I want to cover this on my show. So shouts out goes out to Breaking Brown Media and Yvette Cornell because she was talking about it. I can't remember what the issue was that she was talking about. Oh, she was talking about, I can't remember the brother's name. He works on ESPN. He went and he spoke. And what he said got a lot of black folks upset because he said we're not experiencing slavery anymore or discrimination the way that our ancestors felt it. And Yvette basically ripped a hole in this man's whole argument and tore a hole in his ass. I mean, Miss Cornell, when she comes with it, right? And you can tell when she getting frustrated because she a light-skinned sister, and she start turning red in the face when she get upset. And I love to see her get upset because the shit is just, she's thorough with her shit. She's real red, and I would suggest that everybody that's listening to this will go to Breaking Brown Media and support her. And also, I ran into her by following Boyce Watkins' channel. So I'm eclectic in the stuff that I study. I listen to a lot of stuff, and I feel that I can learn something from everybody. So now, let's move down the timeline. Right now, Alaska volcano cools down while a Chilean one heats up. All right, so we're going to read this a little bit. Because we got time tonight. We got time tonight. Ain't that right, Gina? We got time tonight. Queen of the damn universe can't be upset with me because I'm following the format that we set. Right? So, hey, Alaskan volcano cools down while Chilean one heats up. The eruption that started on Sunday at Alaska's Pavlov has abated after over 24 hours of intense activity. The Alaska Volcano Observatory lowered the air's alert status to orange after a drop in Semi-City, meaning less magma is likely rising up into the volcano or the rate of eruption has dropped. But the ash cloud that topped out at 11 kilometers, that's 37,000 feet, high, is still lingering over the Bering Sea and interior Alaska. Yesterday, the ash was significant enough to prompt Alaska Airlines to cancel 20 flights, while Penn Air ended up canceling most of their flights. Even with those cancellations, a passenger on an Alaska airline flight captured a great video of the erupting Pavlov. Although current jet stream conditions could eventually bring diluted ash to the lower 48 states, it is unlikely that this brief eruption of Pavlov will cause much travel chaos. Meanwhile, ash was also falling on towns like Nelson Lagoon, located 120 kilometers or 80 miles northeast of Pavlov. David Schneider from AEOOOOhhh said the eruption was more energetic than any eruption at Pavlov. So, they got this major eruption. It ain't even a major eruption. They don't consider it major. I won't look at the video. You go and look at the video. But let's get to the Chilean piece, right? So, Chile, some other volcano updates. So, we got volcanoes erupting all over this motherfucker. It's just, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? We hear more about the Great Pumpkin than we hear about these volcanoes erupting, all right? Kopahu has been more restless over the past week, and the current eruption was captured by Jeff Williams. So we got the one in Alaska is cooling down, but the one in Chile is exploding. Are they connected? Is there some type of connection going on here? I don't know. We don't know. That's for you to go and find out and share with us here on The Journey. Those of you that are good writers, I would love for you to drop your articles and your thoughts onto the timeline. I will talk about them. I will share them. I will give you props if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? But I want to get the discussion popping off up on Gye-Nyame Journey. I need some comments. I need your help, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I talk about it. I'm a lot less of writing. I'm into writing right now. I'm more into doing these shows because I'm trying to build up content. Race and reality in America. A new CNN and Kaiser Family Foundation poll reveals how Americans feel about racism and how segregated we really are. I might be able to play a little bit of this on. So hold on, let's see what we can do. Because it's a YouTube video.
Often called the Great Melting Pot.
Here we go.
It's a country that's struggled with race relations throughout its history and still does today. A 2015 CNN and Kaiser Family Foundation poll found about half of Americans think racism is a big problem, one that doesn't seem to be getting better. 2/3 said racial tensions in the United States had increased over the last decade. More than half of blacks said they had experienced some form of racial discrimination in their lifetimes, from being denied a job to fearing for their lives. About 1/3 of whites and Hispanics reported similar experiences. Blacks and Hispanics were also far more likely than whites to say that they had been unfairly treated in the last month in a public place, such as a restaurant or in a store, because of their race. Segregation is still a reality as well, at work and at home. 60% of whites said their work colleagues were all or mostly white, and close to 70% of whites said either their social circle or their neighborhood was mostly white. When asked if certain factors, like discrimination, a lack of educational opportunities, and broken families, played a major role in the social and economic problems facing their communities, the majority of blacks and Hispanics said yes. But even so, there is optimism. A majority of blacks and Hispanics aged 18 to 34 say it's easier for them to achieve the American dream than it was for their parents. Only 31% of young white adults said the same.
All right, we back. So now I was able to play that race and reality in America. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that we really, on the journey, I try to cover as much as possible, because I don't want people to be lulled into this post-racial American bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Race still plays a factor. Class still plays a major factor in America. And until we start really recognizing that as a group, it don't even take all of us. Listen, black folks, it don't even take a whole lot of us, man. All we got to do is start combining some of our spending power. It don't even have to be a lot of us. Just enough of us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in each city, 100. You know what I'm saying? You get 100 people coming together because we got churches that's been built on the backs of a couple of hundred people. Mega churches. You know what I'm saying? That's actually changing the communities they're in. What's wrong with people with a little bit of conscience? We don't have to agree on everything, but we can agree that we want a future for our kids. You know what I'm saying? The fact of the matter is that our children are growing up with targets on their back. You know what I'm saying? And it's targets in their skin. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm training Gina and Cleve and Sasha and any of the other young people that I work with, because I got a lot of kids, man, and a lot of grandkids, and a lot of nieces and nephews, and a lot of young cousins that I'm working with. You know what I'm saying? Because the problem is, if we don't look out, we don't realize that nobody else is responsible for looking out for us. This is why I keep saying that nobody should be looking out for your stuff better than you, nor should they. We can't allow people to be looking out for us and ours better than we do. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to people with our hands out. You understand? And I want to bring this fact to you, right? I mean, a lot of y'all keep on thinking that the folk tales for grown folks. Some of y'all think that you're too mature for the folk tales. But the folk tales are not just for kids. I need to break it down for you, because just the last one, I mean, if you just listen, let me pull it up. I need you to listen to the moral, right? I'm going to read the story to you real quick, and I'm going to read the moral to you. And I want you to think about this moral. A shepherd watching his ass feeding in the meadow, we just covered this, was alarmed all of a sudden by the cries of the enemy. He appealed to the ass to fly with him, lest they should both be captured. But the animal lazily replied, "Why should I pray? Do you think it is likely that the conqueror will place on me 2 sets of panniers or 2 saddlebags?" "No," rejoined the shepherd. Then said the ass, "As long as I carry the panniers, what matters it to me whom I serve?" The moral coming from Aesop. This ain't no Brother Hatim made up shit. This ain't no recent shit. This is a translation by George Fowler Thompson that is so old that it's in public domain. And listen to what it says. In a change of government, the poor change nothing beyond the name of their master. Did y'all hear that shit? Did y'all hear that? In a change of government, the poor change nothing beyond the name of their master. So whether our master name is Republican or Democrat, whether it's liberal or conservative, whether it's Bernie, Hillary, or the Great Pumpkin, what does it matter to us when we are poor and we have been isolated in the way that we are? Because nothing but the name of the master has changed. So, now you can take that how you want. I'm not a big fan of running out to vote. I'm just being honest with you. And I know some of y'all out there, yeah, but our ancestors, they died for, and so what? And so what? They died for me to have a damn choice. They died for me to be able to speak my mind, right? And I'm speaking my mind because I'm sick of the Democrats playing with my people. I'm sick of the Republicans playing with my people. And I'm sick of my people putting our lives in the hands of people who don't have our best interests at heart. We're the only ones that don't realize this. We're the only people that's turning over all of our children to our enemy to educate them. To individuals whose best interest does not meet our best interest. Do you not realize that if they dropped the alien ship on this earth right now and they asked for slaves, they would pile the ship up with you and me? You don't realize that? There would be no fight. There would be no call for nuclear weapons. They would give you the paper bag test and put your ass on that ship. They'll put my baby on that ship. They'll put my oldest on that ship. Some of my older daughters probably would escape. Unless it's the heat of the summer, because they're going to be like about a nice brown. You know what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to make is this, right? We have to start looking out for our future. We have to start building for our legacy. And that requires us to take responsibility. So let's say we don't have a school. What's wrong with us doing something on Saturday and Sundays? What's wrong with us doing something Friday nights for our kids? What's wrong with us setting up our own camps and going to some of these state campgrounds? What's wrong with us stockpiling equipment and teaching our kids how to start fires in the woods and learning how to survive in the woods and learning how to get herbs out the woods and learning how to climb and learning how to jump and being able to run around without having to worry about gunshots or stepping on glass, to be able to run barefooted and play like children should be able to do? What's wrong with us doing that? Or I would rather go to the club and run into the next Mr. Wrong or the next Mrs. Wrong. We got some ailments going on with us black folks. Fam, we got to talk. We got to talk. I can't mince words with you no more. I can't keep playing with you no more. The fuckery's afoot and you participating in it. You participating in the fuckery. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck that. Race and reality in America. Wake the fuck up. Wake up. Wake up. I guess it ain't gonna be real till they come for you. I guess it ain't gonna be real till they come knocking at your door for your children. That's when they get real for us. Man, I kind of hope the great pumpkin becomes president. Right? I pulled this off of somebody else's. I don't know who I got this from. But I think it's Young Thug. But I can't understand what none of these motherfuckers say. No more, right? Young Thug is being interviewed, and a woman is asking about what do you think about issues going on. This nigga said a bunch of shit about his jewelry, about his glasses, and when she finally said, so you think they need boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? Nigga said he shouldn't have no comments on that shit. Y'all need to slap your kids in the face when they go out and buy an album from this motherfucker. They're talking, go lock the door for me, baby. They're talking, hurry up. They're talking about people his age being murdered. He can't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got to go and, you know, the diamond is shining and shit, you know, mumbling and shit. You know what I'm saying? Cooning and touching on other niggas. I don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, I'm getting so frustrated right now. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Showing, you know, nigga. That's where rap going right now, right? You ain't got to even understand it no more. But that's cool, right? That's cool, right? Nah, that ain't cool. That's not cool at all. That's not cool at all. Alright. Doom, boom, doom, 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 doom. Alright. Timer went off about 10 minutes ago. So I need to go and let y'all hear from some of our friends.
The word is spreading. More and more people are switching to Ambit Energy.
Well, one of my neighbors switched, and then I switched. Now the whole neighborhood has Ambit.
Who doesn't want to save money?
The word is spreading. Switching to Ambit Energy is rewarding in more ways than one.
I signed up and got a travel reward. That's nice.
Oh, I get to save on energy and on travel?
There's a cruise for two out there just a few thousand kilowatts away. I can almost smell the sunscreen.
The word is spreading. Ambit Energy even lets you earn free energy.
When I get 15 friends to switch, I get free energy. I have 15 friends. At least I think I do.
Hey, I'd be telling people to switch to Ambit anyway.
If you'd like to switch to Ambit Energy, listen to the following contact information closely. Then spread the word.
Y'all heard the man spread the word. Gye-Nyame Journey Energy is a consultant of Ambit Energy. And by you switching and allowing us to provide you electricity, you are helping us nation build. You are helping us do camping trips. You are helping us take our children to different campsites in Ohio as well as in different states. You are enabling us to meet every other week and feed the young people and the families that we work with. You are enabling us to continue podcasts. You are enabling us. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff we do comes from donations from people like yourself. So if you can't donate and you want to donate more on a regular basis, allow us to provide you electricity. Allow us to provide your gas. 1, we'll save you money. 2, you earn travel points. 3, if you get more people to sign on with you, you get your energy for free. That's a whole bill that you don't have to worry about. 4, you be involved in nation building. 100%, right? We'll be able to keep track, and we'll be able to let you know and give you some special offers from Gye-Nyame Journey. Discounts on camping trips, discounts on any of the things that we doing, discount on the fish dinner. I don't give a damn. You let us know what you want us to do. If you can help us, we'll help you. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Energy. You can hit us up at gyenyame.energy526.com, or you go to our Facebook page, Gye-Nyame Journey Energy, right? Or Facebook.com/GNJ Energy. All right. Now it's back to turn it up a little bit. All right, timer back on. Putting the timer back on so we keep it flowing. You got something you want to say, Gina? Gina got a commercial. Go ahead, Gina. Tell them what you want, baby. It's your chance. Huh? You know how to spell sip? You already spelled sip for me. You need to spell something else. Huh? Well, you got time. You know how to play who? Dip? You said dip? Spell it. D-I-P. Word. All right. That's real good. So you working on IP, right? Okay. All right. So also on the timeline, you will see when I'm talking about our annual father-son Brenner. You know what I'm saying? I have we did a podcast so you can see what we do. Some of the stuff that we do at the school. We had a father and son Brenner where we had a tie ceremony. Actually a knot ceremony. We talked about the significance of the knot. Glenn Harris did an excellent job talking about fatherhood. You know what I'm saying? This is something that you can check out. And if you don't like it, you might have some fathers out there that might want to participate next year. Share it with them so that they can know what they're going to be getting into next year. All right. Learn how to memorize information with the video by the World Memory Champion. Maybe we might need to check that out. You can check that out for yourself. Learn how to memorize information with the video from the World Memory Champion. Check it out. All right, free information. You know how they say information is power. Well, actually, the proper use of information is power. Because I know some people who know a lot of shit, but they can't do nothing, right? They don't do nothing with it. All right. Nixon's war on drugs. Timer is on. Y'all know we about to go into this one. You already know, right? Y'all know it. Y'all can feel it. Right? Yep. I'm about to go in on this one here. War on drugs is a war on us. Nixon's war on drugs was government-sanctioned terror on black people. This is from the Griot. I'm going to tell you the date. And see, this is what's crazy, right? I need a napkin. Black people know this already. We know this. We know this in droves. We know this stuff. But knowing it is not enough, right? We need our writers to write about it. We need our rappers to rap about it. You know what I'm saying? We need to have our scholars research it so that we can have some informative discussions about it. This came out on March 29, 2016. Right? It's by Walter Bond and it's on the Griot. Alright? Which I just found out is not black owned. So let's go and look at what this racist cracker by the name of Richard Nixon, you know what I'm saying? And for those that don't know where the word cracker come from, the word is that it comes from the person that used to use that whip on us, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't mean it in any disrespectful term. I'm not being any less disrespectful than when the motherfuckers sitting in the back room talking about nigga, right? So, or nigga, or however you want to say it, whatever floats your boat, right? I'm gonna offend somebody tonight because we need to stop playing. Y'all playing. I'm not playing. I'm very serious. I'm sitting up here looking at my legacy. If you put that in there, I won't be able to hear. That's why I don't like you putting it in there. Okay? I need to hear. All right? So, I'm sorry about the hiss in the background, but I figured out how to get rid of it. All right. So, all right, I'm trying to go here, but they're trying to sell me something. All right, so let's look at this. Elfman surfing, a disgusting truth that's been well known by black folks for several decades. The war on drugs had nothing to do with eradicating a drug epidemic. Let me read that again. The war on drugs had nothing to do with eradicating the drug epidemic. Right? You know, some of y'all, they did this to us. They did it to eliminate this from the black community, right? A lot of y'all believe this. But the fact of the matter is, telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, that the war on drugs had nothing to do with a war on drugs. It was a war on you. The war on drugs had nothing to do with eradicating. The Nixon campaign in 1968 and Nixon White House after that had two enemies: the anti-war left and black people. You understand what I'm saying? We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black, but by getting on the evening news, did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. Listen, do you hear this? This is Al Rickman states, this is a statement, right? And I know we knew this as black people, but listen. Where's the call from Reverend Al? Where's the call from Jesse? Where's the call from all these pastors? That a lot of these individuals that are in jail right now for drug charges need to be released, and a majority of them cops and policy makers who are coming out saying this shit right now, knowing what they was doing, need to be prosecuted. How many lives did they ruin? So we just had a discussion, and I'm going to go a little bit more into the discussion when I pull out the article, but we just had a discussion about how they disrupted black folks from the Civil War to World War II. Then after World War II, we just got word from Nixon that he declared war on your black self. This is from his cabinet. You know, they had to wait for him to be dead. Because you supposed to allow for your leadership to die off before you start bringing out the dark truths. We don't do that in the black community. You know what I'm saying? That's called loyalty. Actually, he must really be in need of money or something for him to all of a sudden come out with this information, because he was supposed to take this to his grave. But thank the ancestors that he didn't. My ancestors is bothering him in his sleep. Now they can help him relieve this motherfucker and torment his soul forever. And I hope they chasing Richard Nixon and oh my God. Hold on. You said breathe? My daughter's telling me to calm down and breathe before I have a stroke. I train them young, but that's that West Asian. There you go right there. That's the West Asian. That's exactly what it is. That's that West Asian fuckery right there. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm so hot tonight, y'all don't even know. I just lost the whole damn page. I'm so hot, the page done fell off my screen. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I'm rattling them up right now. You know what I'm saying? But see, this is what y'all got to understand, right? My ancestors with me, dog. My ancestors with me, right? Gye-Nyame, fear none, dog. Fear none, right? This is what we about, right? Because look, if I'm not saying it, who gonna say it? And there's other people out there saying it, right? But who gonna say it to my population? Who gonna say it to my tribe? Who gonna say it to my tribe? Right? I need my tribe, Gye-Nyame, stand up. I need y'all to stand up. I need y'all to really start waking the fuck up. There was a war declared on you, and because you don't know that the war is going on, you're caught up in fuckery. You're caught up in doing different shit. You're caught up in fighting each other. You're caught up in stupid ass beefs. You don't realize that the enemy is coming for you, but rather than you preparing for the enemy, you prepare to have beef with your own brothers and sisters. So let me keep reading. Both screens are freezing. My daughter gave me a drink of water so I could calm down. I know a lot of y'all like, you got your daughter around that right there, right? Because my daughter need to hear this. My daughter need to understand her father's frustration. She need to understand. All my kids understand. All my kids, they might not understand, but they ain't gonna never say they wasn't exposed to it, because it's one thing that I tried to hide from, and that's cigarettes. And I couldn't even hide that from them because she the one that asked me to stop smoking. I would go outside, I would be away from them when I would be smoking, and she knew that I was smoking, and she asked me to stop. So if I can't hide smoking from them, there's other shit I can't hide. Y'all need to look at your kids. I hope you can look at your kids and at least let them know that you don't do it for you, at least do it for them. We're in the midst of a war, y'all, and we got niggas mumbling on the mic. Baby, I'm shining, you know, and yeah. What'd you just say? You know, just doing the damn thing, and you know, yeah, you know. Foolishness. That's foolishness. But hey, ain't gonna get mine without a fight. Ain't gonna get mine without a fight. You know, because they gonna understand that you coming for them. They gonna understand, right? And they gonna understand that more than likely you gonna send somebody to look like them for them. So they prepared. We prepared. You know what I'm saying? And you might be able to get me, but guess what? You can't get us all. Alright, so here we go. Having fun on the mic. So I gotta start all over. I'm sorry. I need to stop the clock. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. Stop the clock, Brother Hatim. Stop the clock. 4 minutes. Because I wanted to get through this one. It crashed on me because I'm yelling too damn loud. Nixon A reportedly admitted drug war was meant to target black people. I've always believed the war on drugs was a hoax from the very beginning. Thus, I felt a wide range of emotions reading this quote. I've seen my own community ripped apart by the enforcement of draconian drug laws. I know people who are currently serving sentences related to the same drug that, now increasingly legal, is being used to make white folks in government wealthier. And still, America embarrassing incarceration rates and disparities painstakingly outlined. Get it? Are merely a fragment of the aftermath of incontrovertible spirit of genocide decided to decimate a community, the ripple effect will be unending. Consider first. Ooh, man. Something going on with my Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on. Alright. Still, consider first, all wars need soldiers. The soldiers in Nixon's phony war have been police officers, chiefs, prosecutors, and judges. Y'all hear that? This ain't me, right? This is, I think this is the Washington Post. This is the Washington Post. This is not me. No, this is the Griot. This is the Griot. You can find this on the Griot for yourself. Find it for yourself. Read it for yourself. Boys coming out telling the truth on them. Alright, let's keep it moving down the timeline. Let's keep it moving. Let me get that off of there because my computer's slowing up. And I'm like, this is not really, I'm having a good time. I hope you're having a good time, right? Excuse me. No, it's funny, right? It's funny, right? And I don't even know if y'all can hear me, right? But hey, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? Because now, I know that when my stuff starts acting up like this, I know I'm doing the right thing, right? So ancestors, I need y'all to go on and speed this up because I got people that's possibly listening to this that need this information. So ancestors, I need for this computer to start working immediately. I'm not talking about tomorrow. I'm not talking about tomorrow night. I'm talking about right now, ancestors. I need for it to happen right now. I want to continue going down my timeline, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be going down my timeline. All right, so. All right, we get some likes. I don't know if people listening, but hey, we got some people that's unbelievable. It's time to talk about black privilege, y'all. Oh yeah, this is on the internet. It's time to talk about black privilege. This is another article. This is from CNN.com. I'm about to pull it up right now. It's time to talk about black privilege. This was posted yesterday, March 31st. Let's talk about it. I'm going to read a little bit of it and then we're going to move on. Here's some good news for all black folks complaining about racism now. You don't know how good you have it. At least that's the message I heard during one of the strangest conversations I ever had about race. I was talking about the concept of white privilege, the belief that being white comes with unearned advantages and everyday perks that its recipients are often unaware of. I asked a white retiree if he believed in the existence of white privilege. He said no, but there was another type of privilege he wanted to talk about: black privilege. Confused by his answer, I asked him to give me an example of the perk that I enjoy as a black man that he couldn't. And his answer, ladies and gentlemen, his answer was Black History Month. Black folks, you need to stop complaining. You got Black History Month. You got a whole 28 days and every 4 years, 29 days to celebrate being black. This is black privilege. We have given you a whole month to be black. What the hell else do you want? You want reparations? Huh? We already gave you welfare. What the hell else you want? Huh? Hey, we're cleaning up the streets. Nixon done started a war to pull off all of the criminals off the street. It just so happened that the majority of them look like you. Black privilege. Black privilege. In America, you can't even talk about whiteness, said Drew Dominic, who lives in Green Bay, Wisconsin. If you try to embrace being white, you are portrayed as being a racist. If we had a White History Month, that would be viewed as a racist holiday. Dominic isn't the only one who believes in black privilege. The term is being deployed in conservative circles as rhetorical counterattacks to the growing use of the term white privilege. It's part of a larger transformation. White is becoming the new black. Google the phrase black privilege and one steps into a universe where whites struggle daily against the indignities he beat by the police. It deals with the privilege of being able to be pulled over by the police at any given time and have to answer ridiculous ass questions. It has absolutely nothing to do with me walking out in my apartment complex and being stopped by the police and having to prove where I fucking live, right? You know that because that's black privilege. They want to make sure that I'm safe. Damn, we got it good. Man, it's so good in America right now. If you're skeptic, there's even a black privilege checklist listing some of the perks black enjoys that white cannot. A sample. Let's check it out. Blacks can belong to clubs and organizations that cater specifically to their race, but there's no national association for the advancement of white people, because such a group will be deemed racist. Blacks can call white people hunky and cracker, but whites cannot use the N-word. The concept of black privilege is still so new, though, that some of the nation's most acclaimed scholars on race didn't even know it existed. One giggled when she heard the phrase because she thought it was a joke. Others were bewildered. Some became angry. Count Peggy McIntosh as one of the angry. She is arguably more responsible for popularizing the concept of white privilege than anyone else. An activist and retired Wellesley College professor, her 1989 essay, White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack, has been widely reprinted and is now taught in many colleges. Her essay gives examples of what McIntosh called white privilege. I can go shopping alone most of the time, pretty well assured that I will not be followed or harassed. If a traffic cop pulled me over, I can be sure I haven't been singled out because of my rights. McIntosh scoffed at the idea of black privilege. Now, you go and finish reading this yourself, right? So the issue is, because this is part of the strategy, right? What you do is you turn around the issue, right? You turn it around, and rather than and make yourself the victim. I mean, it's a common ploy, right? Because you're going to have black people that's jumping on this too, right? I'm very privileged to be black. You know what I'm saying? I went to college because I was black. I received extra benefits because I'm black. I received magic tricks and stuff like that because I'm black. You know what I'm saying? Someone's going to jump right on the bandwagon, but that's what you call that fuckery, buffoonery, and white magic. That's exactly what it is. White magic. They're flipping the script on you, and they're magically going to make you feel guilty and make you feel like you got some privilege. We don't want privilege. We want power and money, goddammit. You could take all the privileges. You know what I'm saying? You could take the goddamn holiday. You know what I'm saying? Where is the money? Where the money that my ancestors, that the free labor from my ancestors helped build up on? Where that's at? You know what I'm saying? Here, let me get black privilege. That has went over and above West Asian fuckery and has entered the realm of intergalactic fuckery. Intergalactic. Man, I'm so mad right now. Alright, so I got an article on 8 books by Tony Robbins. Think everyone should read. Tony Robbins is a good motivational, inspirational speaker. I like to listen to him. So I thought I would post some books that he suggests everybody read to help get your life together. There's a growing interest in homeschooling in the African American community, which is a good idea. You know what I'm saying? We can't expect our children to move towards freedom if they're in other people's institutions, really. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find a way to either start teaching at home, supplement the teaching that they get, or start taking over these damn schools and start teaching what the fuck we want to, and tell these people they're gonna fund that shit regardless because we paying taxes, and you don't have the right to hold our money when we paying taxes. You supposed to serve us, not us serve you. So fuck your agenda, fuck your test. We need to make sure that our children are prepared for a world. They're prepared for the world in the way that they need to be prepared. And that always can't be measured. Alright. Also, for some of y'all, right? Some of us really need to think about going into the weed business. So I got 2 articles on here. Is The Green Rush, How to Make Weed Money Legally. This from Black Enterprise. And then 11 African American cannabis entrepreneurs you should know about. Part 1. You know what I'm saying? Some of us need to be thinking about going into the cannabis business. Weed business, right? Legal weed business. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some legislation in Ohio. We need to go and push that through. You know what I'm saying? And start finding ways for some of us to seriously get into this business. Because a lot of y'all that's listening to me right now probably doing the shit illegally anyway. We need to find a legal way to get some of that money. We need the money to build. Like I told you, we got the Gye-Nyame complex. We put a greenhouse up in that mug. You know what I'm saying? Bang. It is what it is. Alright, I want to go through this one real quick. Surprised my alarm ain't go off. Where my timer at? Oh, I stopped it. Oops. Alright. So we're gonna try to get this one in 4 minutes, then I'm gonna get into my heavy stuff, right? There's a reason some birds don't seem to fly south for winter anymore. I want y'all to check this out. Then we're gonna get straight into what we're supposed to get into. Huh? You go to bed. Oh man. The Washington Post is playing games with me. Alright, cool. Alright, that's cool. I can't play games with Brother Tim because I'm getting around. You know, they want me to put my email address and all that in, but I got something for them. So let's go and share this real quick. The birds and bees are telling humans about much more than sex. A new study released Thursday says. This from the Washington Post. There's a reason some birds don't seem to fly south for winter anymore. They are harbingers of a climate change with species swapping habitats like a game of musical chairs as regions of Europe and the United States swarm. Populations of American robins in winter in southern states are in decline there, but they are on the upswing in northern states that were once too cold, and Europeans wrens are beating a trail from southern parts of Europe, also for chilly northern areas that in the past were uncomfortable, the study says. The study on the warming climate effects on common birds is the first real demonstration that climate is having a similar large-scale influence on the animals around the world. It was undertaken by an international team of researchers led by the University. We're going to skip that. These findings represent a new climate impact indicator for biodiversity, says Stephen Willis. The study lead author and a researcher at the University of School of Biological and Biomedical Sciences. The same approach could also be applied to species such as bees, butterflies, dragonflies, which are well monitored and highly susceptible to the change in climate. Thursday's study supports previous research commissioned by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services that said warming temperatures are altering the habitat ranges of birds in every state. So much so that the mascot of Baltimore baseball team, the Orioles, might no longer inhabit Baltimore, Washington region, 30 years from now. The same is true for Eagles. I want you to think about this. Baltimore might have to change their name to the Baltimore Pigeons because the Orioles is about to break camp. Y'all just need to be aware of that. I just want you to hear. You heard it first here. Baltimore's going to have to change their name to the Baltimore Pigeons. All my phones ringing at the same time, and I love it. Right? So here we go. Let's keep it moving. So climate change, right, is something that we really need to look at. It's also on the timeline wealth inequality in America. Experience YouTube and Snoop Vision, which was a funny, practical April 1st, April Fool's joke. How Class Work by Richard Wolff. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We got a whole bunch of other stuff. The Era Within Which America Lives. I posted that one several times. I want to make sure y'all got it. Right? So now, let's get into the article that I want to cover. Right now, we're going to take a couple of second break so that you get your head together. And I get my head together.
Mr. Diddy.
All right, now you are listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Right now you listen to AEOOOOhhh, an empire of our own, right? AEOOOOhhh. And this is Freestyle Friday. Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. This is the heart of a simple production. And you know, we always try. Blow up those old paradigms. Blow them up. We gotta blow them up because we don't blow them up, Gina. Who gonna blow them up, baby? If we don't blow them up, who gonna blow them up? I didn't think she would make it this far, but she made it. Hey, I'm telling you. Alright, so now, timer on. So you can find Era Within Which American Legacy Rises. This is the Huffington Post. I printed this one out because I wanted to make sure that the computer wasn't slowing me down. So I want to make sure that we make it through as much of this article as we possibly can, right? So I want y'all, I'm be reading fast, so I want y'all to keep up. Now on the article, they have several different videos that you can tune into. How Class Work by Richard Wolff. They got a list that I'm gonna go through. They got Slavery by Another Name. They got the one that we did about race on here as well, right? I mean, so not only is an interactive article, very well written, and once again, the brother name who wrote the article is Antonio Moore. So check them out. The article's date, if you're looking for it, is 6/11/2013. All right, and it's in the blog section. Black Huffington Post, Black Voices. All right. Me. We stand here on the verge of a shift in the American paradigm of spending credit to secure capital regardless of social status. A way of life that was born out of 30 years of fast money and easy credit lines. This moment comes at a time during which there are challenges to some of the core American fairness laws that led to some semblance of equal opportunity. One of which, affirmative action, may take a major blow by the Supreme Court in the coming weeks. In the last 30 years, while the rich got richer, all of it was masked by access to credit that made the wealth gap appear to be closing in our daily lives. Access to predatory home loans, for-profit student loans, and high-interest credit cards served as the proverbial closet for Americans' historical skeletons. That closet is now full and showing signs of bursting at the seams, exposing the truth of America that has not been built purely on a culture of free enterprise and capitalism, and so often presented, but also stands upon legally fortified legacy. From the roaring 20s to the depressing 30s and back again, America has dealt with cycles of economic growth. But no growth pattern has presented such a possibility of devastating the culture of U.S. capitalism as that which we are on the verge of today. So if this was in 2013, y'all got to understand, we is on the verge of it today. We already fallen into the chasm of our own destruction. Over the last 30 years, people with limited means acquired debt that would take more than a lifetime to pay off. A 30-year mortgage at $3,000 to $5,000 a month for a family making less than $70,000 annually is the equivalent to being trapped by your home, particularly if it's underwater. The question begins, how will the economic winds take back the keys to life which consumer credit has afforded an entire generation? It will be done quickly and without regard for feelings or consideration for struggle. Now check this out. Let me just say this. For those that don't know, my wife is from Ghana, right? And when I go to Ghana, one of the things that you don't hear about is mortgages. Those that have been in third world countries, those of you that's been other places, I want y'all to take notice of this. America is one of the only places where you have to, in order to afford a house, you basically have to sell your soul. You have to go get a mortgage. Everything in America is overpriced. Everything in America is overpriced, right? And I'm saying that to say this, right? In Ghana, if you got a house, it's your house, right? If you see people building a house, they are not taking the mortgage out, at least not in Ghana on that shit. They are building that shit and they are using capital to build it. They are not taking a loan on it, right? I mean, really. I mean, we really need to look at this, right? The price of homes and the value of our money has dropped so much that now we got to spend a lifetime's worth of money to get a quality house. I grew up in a house in Akron, Ohio, that my grandparents was able to raise 3 generations in. We was all able to live in a damn house. And if I'm correct, they paid under $20,000 for that house. But that house you was able to put a room in the basement, have a laundry room in the basement, have a shower and a bathroom in the basement, have a full service kitchen, a dining room and a living room, and a sitting front porch, 3 bedrooms on the front, on what we would call the second floor, and 2 bedrooms on the 3rd floor. Good sturdy house. Actually, the house was so damn sturdy that the ground up underneath the damn house gave out before the house did. Now, I'm just saying that to say this. My grandfather bought that house for $20,000. I'm looking at some people now, they buy a house for $250,000, 3 bedrooms. Come on now. No, and it's wood. And it's wood. If a tornado hit Columbus today, the only houses that would still be standing are those that are over 50 years old. Do you all realize that? All right, but I'm done. I'm sorry. I tend to go off. You know what I'm saying? I've been going to the doctor trying to see why I'm going off like that. I don't know. You know? The keys that were given by credit markets allowed a generation to dream that hope had actually led to progress, but these keys were in fact doorways to a kingdom of debt and misguided views of self-worth. So basically, black folks, everything we got was loaned to us. Your freedom was loaned to you. The house I want you to think about, what is it that you own in your life? Some of you don't even own the shoes on your feet. You done bought it with goddamn credit cards. You don't own your house. The bank own the house. You don't own the car. The bank own the car. And I know a couple of you out there is going to be able to say, not me. I own mine, right? And that's good. But let's talk about the vast majority, because I always run into assholes like that. I'm just going to be honest, right? There's always that one that's like, not me. But then we talk about the vast majority. And if you just got done, that means that you either paid a 15-year mortgage or you just got done paying a 30-year mortgage. And you probably refinanced. Right? You driving the car. That you bought on credit. The furniture that you got in the house is on credit. The TV that you watching is on credit. So basically our freedom and all the progress that we have made in America has been loaned to us. Let's go on. Homeboy is thorough. Y'all need to get this article. There's another one that just do some light on me. It just share some light on me. Right? People mad at me. I got family members mad at me because I drive an old van. They don't understand that I am not trying to go in debt. I'm going to drive this motherfucker till it blow up. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to save money so that I can buy me a car cash out, because I already know that I'm not trying to support my own oppression by paying these motherfuckers interest on some shit. By the time I get done paying for it, I will pay for it twice. So why not save the money up for it so I can pay for it once? The very condition of class-based system requires have-nots to remain as such. The trick is to make them accept their status, not with the wave of a gun, but rather the movement of a pen. The class-based structure in the U.S. that seeped into a more simple line of poor or rich was supported by a race-based substructure of black and white. Yet in between the delusional opportunities to forward spend on a Visa card given by Chase or Capital One, a reality was lost over this period of what defines a class structure. Here in America, unlike many other countries, the poor shop with the rich at the local mall. They looked at the lives of the rich on entertainment blogs, and they watched wealth-based reality shows until the meld of the reality on TV blurred the very line of what actually was the reality in their own home. We don't even know how much we really worth, but we do know how much we owe. Right? Right? How much do you owe? That lets you know how big the chain is around your neck. And the way the system is set up, you will never pay it back. And this is what's even worse. We got black folks dying with $1 million homes, but leaving absolutely no money for their kids. We got black folks living in $1 million homes with no furniture. We got black folks driving cars worth almost $100,000 with no goddamn gas in the tank. That fuckery is of the intergalactic sort. Of the intergalactic sort. We have fallen for the fuckery, for buffoonery, and we have been dazzled by white magic. We've been dazzled by it. Wake up! Alright, Americans overexposed to the chance of change became underexposed to the cost that believing in chance without giving it the true context of history can bring. A middle class that needed heavy doses of reality instead got sugar in the form of low Can't read that word. Low blank and plastic cards. I believe as the credit surge halts and the MasterCard's house keys are taken back, what will be left is a nation in a trance of flat screen smartphones and designer clothes. The new era that has arrived brings us back to a time where what you will become is based on now how much Chase will loan you without collateral, but rather what your grandfather left for you so many years ago. My grandfather left me a suit. I love my grandfather. I love the suit. At least he was able to leave me that. But are we on the road where we are going to be able to leave our children anything? I know the car is nice, man, but I mean, could you downgrade and own something and save up some money and go and buy the car that you love for a little bit cheaper? Can you downgrade your house and possibly buy a house and own it and be able to pass it down to your children? Can we start nation building as black folks? You can't build a nation on credit. You can't do it. It's not allowed. If you owe money, it's not your nation. Others should be drawing and getting credit from you. And we can't do it at the present state of where we are. But I want to get to the one part, and I swear I'll be done. I swear. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep yelling at y'all, man. But listen, man, listen. I love y'all so much. Listen, fam, especially those in my tribe. Fam, listen. We have to pull together. Right? This American dream shit, man, it's a fucking illusion. It's a fucking illusion. My grandparents solved the problem. Our grandparents solved the problem. Those of you that remember living with your grandparents, those that remember being in homes together. This individual living shit is not for us. This us living all over the city rather than us focusing as a family and buying a whole damn street. And one family per house is not for us. And I know y'all like, oh, Brother Tim, you're talking crazy. But listen, we can't afford it. We're not at that level yet. We can't keep complaining about the Arabs buying the stores in our neighborhood. We can't keep complaining about the Indians doing it. We can't keep complaining about the Hispanics coming here and doing shit when they are following basic rules. You don't live beyond your means. That's the alarm going off. So I'm going to get through this, and I promise I'm going to stop. Because I'm tired of yelling at y'all. Y'all probably tired of me yelling at y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I need y'all to understand I'm not yelling at y'all. I'm yelling at me. Because I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of this right now. I'm guilty of this. You know, the new era has arrived, bringing us back to a time where what you will become is based not on how much Chase will loan you without collateral, but rather what your grandfather left for you so many years ago. This reality makes our personal family history more important than ever. Over the last 30 years, Americans of all walks forgot or never learned this country's true history and the class racial structure that defined it some 300 years prior. Starting well before the country's official Declaration of Independence, we were made to believe that the rich got positioned so purely as a result of efforts and genius. As though America did not recently abolish the legal institution of Jim Crow, and as though slavery illegality became enforceable criminally well before the actual date of 1942, when President Roosevelt signed Circular Number 3591 legislation. So slavery wasn't illegal in America until 1942. We're going to look that up and we're going to talk about that, but not tonight. Legacy's power in the U.S. is interesting in that it is remembered for when it carries the gifts of wealth and security, but much more often it bears the unforgiving pain of poverty. Listen now, legacy. Legacy's power in the U.S. is interesting, right? Have your family left you a legacy of wealth? Or have it left you a legacy of poverty? It becomes hyper-exaggerated in both directions when laws and policies are designed to expand the gaps between the two groups. I believe that when laws that favor groups create unequal opportunity, it becomes a direct clog in the engines of capitalism. Free enterprise cannot be free when it is burdened with the weight of a yesteryear, which created mass inequality so directly by law. Slavery and Jim Crow as legal institutions have legacies that not only clogged American capitalism from being a truly fair opportunity for all, it has burdened Black America particularly with heavy social costs and chained them as a mass group to lives of struggle. As stated by the opinion article in the Griot, Reagan revisionism can't whitewash his history with blacks. This became exaggerated in the era during which Ronald Reagan and his policies from trickle down to crack laws turned up that impact exponentially by changing the black family's trajectory for the worse. People revised America's history to recreate figures into heroes, repairing their actions with each brushstroke of slanted memories. Just like we just got done talking about the legacy of Richard Nixon, now we're going to get into the legacy of Reagan, the legacy of Bush, the legacy of Clinton, the legacy of Bush. Have any of these legacies contributed to where black people are at this present time? Has it done anything to improve it, or has it done something to increase the white magic or the view or the illusion? I will state undoubtedly many more Americans are affected than just blacks by poverty. Y'all need to realize that, because this is bigger than black. But like I said, blacks are the tide that they talk about, that when we rise, all boats rise. But because of the history of the nation and its unwillingness to confront that history, poverty has laid rabbits to Black America at a wholly different rate than any other subgroup. Black America today in mass is impoverished. Over 10 million of the 40 million self-identified African Americans live below the poverty line. Think about that. 1 out of every 4, at least back in 2013. 1 out of every 4. We know that ain't changed that much. Making less than $11,000 a year, and another large mass of African Americans are classified as near poor by new census calculations. A group that played a major role in building the wealthiest country the world has known as a group that played a major role in building the wealthiest country the world has known as free labor kneels at the country's back porch in poverty. To give more specific examples, now check this out, of context to the statement of what Black America has lost out on with their unpaid labor investment in the U.S. In Chapter 2 of the best-selling book, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, y'all know I quote that book often, listed that the 75 wealthiest people in the global economic history, and an astounding 45 were American-born, an additional 4 men on the list, while not born in America, made their wealth here. A country that is a mere 237 years old creates 65% of the wealthiest man the world has known. 14 other groups were all born in a single 9-year span, all preceding the Industrial Revolution, focusing in specifically on the top of the last. An example, Andrew Carnegie became the second wealthiest man in the history of the world by investing in the steel business, ending up as the head of U.S. Steel. Carnegie made his fortune in the steel industry, controlling the most extensive integrated iron and steel operation ever owned by an individual in the United States. According to Forbes, he amassed a wealth holding equivalent to nearly $300 billion adjusted for inflation. Excerpt from Outlier's list of 75 richest people in the global economic history. Below are the individuals that made their wealth in the U.S. and the approximate value of their wealth. All right, I'm not going to read all of them. Let's go with the first. Let's go. We got John D. Rockefeller, $318 billion. Andrew Carnegie, $298 billion. William Henry Vanderbilt, $231 billion. Andrew Mellon, $188 billion. Henry Ford, $188 billion. Cornelius Vanderbilt, $167 billion. John D. Rockefeller Jr., $141 billion. Sam Walton, $128 billion. Let's stop right there. Let's move on. Because there's a list of 74, right? Many Americans will say, we all were cut out of this wealth. But as many can say that wealth was built by your own family free labor investment, the exclusion shut them out of the middle class wealth creation in a rising America, prohibited them from changing their labor into compounding investments that grandchildren could share for future opportunity. I want y'all to listen to that. That's future talk, right? This boy is brilliant, man. I mean, the way he put this together. Listen, that's future talk, right? That's business, future talk. We was cut out when America was on its biggest come up, when the largest amount of wealthy people were being built and created. We were excluded from the market. And I need to say that loud. I hope I caught you off guard. Slavery created a group that was left out of the capitalism as a profit participant, but left in as a risk bearer, risking the greatest asset any man had, their own lives, doing dangerous work. They did not sit on the sidelines in the marketplace like they would want you to believe. They wasn't lazy like they want you to believe. They wasn't shiftless like they want you to believe. Their labor was allowed to be in play to create other men's familial, that means family wealth, that remains in the economy today. Looking more specifically at people on a list like Carnegie, who owned U.S. Steel, one of the major advantages was that the ability to, at times, through highly labor-intensive and dangerous work of steel production, mining to coal, a key ingredient in steel production, with little or no labor costs. Steel production before mechanization was dangerous, and labor was a key in production. And guess who was providing cheap and free labor, y'all? Let's look at Vanderbilt. Let's look at Vanderbilt wealth. You know, these men, hey, they was the tough guys. You know, they built this country on their back. No, they built the country on your back. But you know what I'm saying? You're not allowed to say that. Why? Because it's black privilege. Alright, I'm done after this. Only men of remarkable strength and endurance could stand up to the heat for hours, turn and stir. Okay, they talking about, I want to skip that part. We're going to skip that because they talking about Carnegie here. And how Carnegie's wealth, you know what I'm saying, is some bullshit. Alright? And this goes into the video clip Slavery by Another Name, where they go into how these people were being used, how our people was being used and forced into labor camps and stuff like that. Loitering will get you years in jail. For those that don't know what loitering means, that means it was 2 or 3 of you gathered and they deemed that you was breaking the law, and they would arrest your ass and make you work on the chain gang. That's what chain gangs were doing, right? We just think they was cleaning the sides of the road. No, they was building roads. They was building railroad. They was laying railroad tracks. You know what I'm saying? This country was built up on the backs of free and cheap labor. So when you hear the great pumpkin talking about taking America back to greatness, y'all better understand that America's greatness came because America had a cheap labor source and a free labor source. And it was you. So let's go and read what Marco Rubio said, and then I'm going to get into the piece that really opened my eyes. But we Americans have always known better. From our earliest days, we embraced economic liberty instead. And because we did, America remains one of the few places on earth where dreams like these even have a chance. Marco Rubio's State of the Union reply. Economic liberty defined. Economic freedom or economic liberty denotes the ability of members of a society to undertake economic action free from restriction. That has not, as of yet, been granted to you. Oh, they say that it's available to you, right? But the generation that was supposed to be building wealth was too busy trying to survive and keep their heads down so that they wouldn't get their necks in a noose. The economic opportunities that would see the Vanderbilts and the Carnegies and the Rockefeller didn't have more oomph than your people, didn't have more oomph than your grandfather, didn't have more heart or better ideas than your grandfather. They had access to the freedom to move in an unrestricted market and do shit that your grandfathers and your grandmothers weren't allowed to do. I'm going to read this one right here, and I promise I'm done, but I want you to hear this, because this is that future business talk. Black folks, y'all need to hear this. What is left out of this revisionist history presented by Rubio is slavery and the area that followed as described above. That's between Jim Crow, that's between the Civil War and World War II. What is left out is how the value of old U.S. money compound. Now, what he's talking about is the old wealth that was built up from cotton days, from tobacco days, right? From Carnegie, from the Rockefellers. This wealth has been turning over. It's been made off the backs and the blood of your ancestors. And it's churning over. It's building compound interest. Many of y'all done read books and y'all can't figure out why you can't get compound interest to work for you. He's telling you why compound interest ain't working for you, because it's a generational game and you have been cut out the generational game. The generations before you wasn't allowed to be involved with the generational game. So, what is left out is how the value of the old U.S. money compounds and how betting old compound investment dollars taxed at 15% on the richest country in the world has created a wealth gap. If you want to acknowledge, no wage earning today taxed at 40% can correct. So there's no amount that they could pay us that could catch up with the amount of money that was stacked up on your back. So the United States government is benefiting from it. Their ancestors, the children of these rich, wealthy motherfuckers are benefiting from it. The whole country is benefiting from it, and everybody's looking at you, having the nerve to say that you got black privilege because they gave you a goddamn month. In fact, they didn't give you the month. We need to take more holidays. And we need to tell them they need to get the fuck up out of our schools. And we need to set the agenda for our children. Because they don't have our best interests at heart. We can't expect them to. I don't expect them to. I'm not even mad at them. That's what y'all gotta understand. I'm not even mad at them. We in the war. We in competition. I'm not mad at the other team for being practiced. That's when we gonna get our team together and start building. Alright, you can find that article on my timeline. It is the era within which America's legacy rides. I'm sorry I ain't shout out the number. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I just went off. I forgot to say the number and all that stuff. But hey, this is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. You are now listening to AEOOOOhhh. Empire of our own Freestyle Friday. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you know, this is a Heart of a Silver production. Wow. Come on, Silver. This is a Heart of a Silver production. Come on, Lord. You was just biting motherfuckers in Nairobi. There you go. All right. Last but not least, we always strive for old paradigms. There you go. All right. So I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to come and join us for the show. I'm gonna play my exit music, and we are out. I'd like to thank y'all. Remember, check us out in the morning for your morning quickie. Check us out on Tuesday for Folktale for Grown Folks. Wednesday for Tribal Quotes. As a matter of fact, we're coming up to the last day for the Gye-Nyame Journey Handbook. Check that out. You know what I'm saying? You can support the journey. There's 100 different ways that you can support us. You know what I'm saying? I don't just believe in asking people for donations and stuff like that. I'd rather trade you something for it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do business. I want to do business with you. Let's do business. Don't just donate no money to me. Allow me to bring some value to your life. Allow Gye-Nyame to bring some value to your life, right? So this is Brother Hatim, and I'm out.
Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenamejourney.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Allahu Akbar.
Too late.